Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now December 29th of 2023, and given that Bob Iger and the board of directors are scrambling and engaging in full damage control over many of the divisions over at Disney, the big ones of course being Lucasfilm, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and let's not forget about, of course, Marvel Studios, all of which have been failing with movies and or TV shows one after the other, really not working for the best in Disney's image for 2023 / their 100th anniversary. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also find me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, the thing about Deadpool 3, and I know I always bring this up, but this is the one movie for 2024, in July, mind you, that Disney is placing all their bets on, that they are 100% banking on this film to make a significant profit and to really kind of make a rebound with their track record with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, given that there's a lot of drama happening between the writers of Deadpool 3 and the Disney higher-ups, writers like, of course, Ryan Reynolds, Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick, all siding with each other and going up against Disney over creative differences. Now, there's a lot of things going on with this film too that go beyond creative differences. It actually has a lot to do with the fact of how Disney is forcing to throw in their agenda with DEI and ESG. DEI, by the way, is diversity, equity, and inclusion, in case you guys do not know. And it's all hypocritical, and it's really contradictory in nature, and is not genuine from Disney at all. Now, what's interesting about all of this has a lot to do with what is going on between Ryan Reynolds and a big plan for Deadpool 3 that he's not happy about by Disney. Now, with the whole Ryan Reynolds drama only getting worse between the writers of the film and the Disney higher-ups due to ongoing creative differences, one major development has to do with Ryan fighting to remove a specific sequence from the film that is being pressed by those like Bob Iger and creating differences with Kevin Feige over at Marvel Studios. As it turns out, Deadpool 3 holds both an end credits scene, such as a mid-credits one, and a post-credits scene. However, the plan for the mid-credits sequence is one that Ryan has reportedly been very frustrated about for the past several weeks, as he is pushing and making every desperate move to remove this from the script before it is even filmed at last minute in studio by the beginning of January. The plan right now by Disney is to introduce young female Avengers that will indeed contain Disney's usage of diversity, equity, and inclusion into these characters at a maximum level. Ryan is said to have serious problems with those high up at Disney for forcing the scene into the script, and though Ryan didn't write the sequence, both Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick were instructed to by Kevin Feige, as Kevin was by those like Bob Iger, to use the scene as a huge tease for what's to come in the future of the MCU for the young female Avengers cast, similar to what they are doing with an all-female led X-Men film. However, Ryan isn't just concerned about their overusage of DEI and agenda-driven strategies with these characters. He is also fed up with the fact that this mid-credit scene is essentially being used by Disney as a way to market new and upcoming Marvel material by using a large anticipated film such as Deadpool 3. The scene that is planned to be shot involves a series of characters from the Young Avengers cast that are said to divert from source material, where some classic Avengers characters are pushed aside physically in comic-driven ways for comic relief in the mid-credits scene. Which classic Avengers characters that get shoved from the female Young Avengers are currently unknown at this time, however, though Disney's message to the Deadpool writers was to make it a scene that would cater to comic relief for both the original Avengers, at least some of them, getting dominated by the Young Avengers cast, and essentially replaced in the frame with Deadpool aka Wade Wilson, making some kind of a comment on what is going on. This in turn is something that Ryan Reynolds pressured both Rhett and Paul to stand with him against Disney, and at this time, all the writers are pushing to exclude this scene from plans for the mid-credits sequence in Deadpool 3. Now guys, let me just stop here before I get to the big conclusion. Now, the fact that we have people like Ryan, Paul, and Rhett teaming up together to take on Disney is fantastic and all, to kind of exclude all of these nonsense scenes that are obviously deliberate by Bob Iger and those high up at Disney, really trying to push this narrative. We also know that everything ranging from their previous attempts to make Blade an all-female movie failed, and how that script was changed. I would not be shocked if the all-female-led X-Men film that's being planned in early development right now, along with an all-female-led Avengers film, is also going to get axed in the next couple of months, maybe 2 years at maximum, as they realize more and more backlash begins to pile up. Now, look, I think at the same exact time, Ryan Reynolds is doing the right thing here. He's not necessarily against all of Disney's agendas per se, or what Disney believes in, but he knows that there are boundaries. Ryan Reynolds at least has, you know, a good head on his shoulders to a degree, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly when it's too much and when you can't go past a certain point, and he realizes that Disney is going way past a certain point. The fact that they are looking to make this mid-credit scene filmed by this January that mock the original Avengers characters, some of them, not all, mind you. Robert Downey Jr., there's no sign of him getting a scene filmed for that, obviously, but some of the members of the Avengers getting shoved by the young female Avengers in this moment that deals with the multiverse in some way, shape, or form. Now, there's an interesting side to this, because you have the fact that they don't know exactly what they are trying to establish with future phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We know that the roadmaps are changing. Bob Iger wants to dial back drastically on the overusage of sequels and to kind of divert from that and focusing more on singular film formats and going on from there. That's what Bob Iger wants to do. He wants to test the waters by making singular film format films. That's going to see if they work or not work. And obviously I think that movies like an all-female-led X-Men film, an all-female-led Avengers film that carries these agendas along with it that are not coming from a natural place in the script are not going to work in the long run with the core audience or the core fan base of Marvel, and especially those that are against Kevin Feige to this day. A lot of people are fed up with this guy, by the way. I mean, he is the Marvel boss, right? He is the guy that runs all things Marvel, and so far, he's done a terrible job in 2023 by really kind of just bowing down to Bob Iger, doing what he wants him to do, and just calling it a day. That's really what it all boils down to. You know, Kevin Feige, Kathleen Kennedy, they're pretty much nearly the same in nature as far as what they are doing with franchises like Marvel and Star Wars. So I think that Ryan's making a good move here. We'll have to see exactly what actually comes out of this and what becomes of this mid-credit scene. Like I said, I think it's going to be something that will be a never-ending process, a vicious cycle until one side gets some kind of an agreement. However, on top of that, followed by new surprising cameos from other classic X-Men characters were previously supposed to be in this, that have, of course, never been seen before by design, that were replaced with the young female Avengers. So that's another thing there. So anyway, guys, you know, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.